Ahoy there, adventurers! Ready to set sail on a deep dive into a world overflowing with pirates, devil fruits, and a quest that's truly legendary.
We're charting a course through the vast and exciting world of One Piece today.
You've handed us a treasure chest of info straight from Wikipedia, and we're ready to unearth the most valuable gems.
It's not just some ordinary treasure hunt, though, is it?
Right. What makes One Piece so captivating?
It's how it takes inspiration from real history and then throws in these fantastical elements.
Okay, hold on. We're talking real-world history mashed up with fantasy.
And don't forget the social themes it manages to tackle, all within this grand, swashbuckling adventure.
So how does that even work?
Surprisingly well, actually. Picture this. A world where the most infamous sea, the Grand Line, is literally sliced down the middle
Sliced by what?
by a massive continent called the Red Line. And this geographical split, it's not just there for show. It actually mirrors our world's history. Think about it.
You mean like how oceans separated nations and fueled conflicts?
Exactly. Oceans created these natural barriers between cultures, even sparked wars. Oda takes that sense of, venturing into the unknown and just runs with it.
It's giving me serious Age of Exploration vibes, like what we learned about in school, all those expeditions into uncharted waters.
He populates his world with not just humans, but fishmen thriving in the deepest trenches.
Oh, and that's cool.
Giants that tower over even the largest ships.
Whoa, giants! Like how big were we talking?
And then there are these animal-human hybrids called minks, each with their own distinct culture.
It's like he took those old maps, the ones with "Here be dragons" scrawled on them, and actually filled in the blanks with these amazing, diverse cultures.
And just like our world, where different ideologies clash, One Piece has this constant tension.
Oh yeah, pirates versus the government, right?
The freedom-loving pirates, the authoritative world government, and caught in the middle, the Marines.
Where do you think you'd land on that spectrum? Hoisting the Jolly Roger or upholding the law?
Tough question. What about you?
Let's be real. The reason we're all hooked on One Piece is the devil fruits. Am I right?
Yeah, they're definitely a huge draw.
These things sound like pure fantasy.
They're rooted in fantasy for sure, but there's this clever twist to them that I find fascinating.
Okay, I'm listening.
Imagine, right, biting into a fruit. But this isn't just any fruit. This one grants you the power to, say, control gravity or even turn your body into fire.
Sign me up.
Each devil fruit is unique, offering incredible powers.
But there's a catch, isn't there? There's always a catch.
There is. And it's a big one for pirates. That single bite, the one that grants you these amazing abilities, also makes the ocean your worst enemy.
Wait, seriously? You're telling me a devil fruit user can't swim?
It's a double-edged sword. The sea, a symbol of freedom for most, becomes a devil fruit user's Achilles heel.
That completely changes the game.
Yeah.
Every encounter on the open sea suddenly becomes a gamble.
It adds this layer of strategy and suspense to every watery encounter.
Which is where Halaki comes in, right?
Exactly.
It's like the ultimate trump card in this world, filled with devil fruit powers.
Haki is fascinating because it's not just about raw power.
So what is it then?
It's about willpower. It's about observation, honing your senses. And it's about that fighting spirit, the drive to never give up.
Okay, so how does it work against a devil fruit user?
With Haki, you can sense the presence of others, even if they're invisible. You can enhance your attacks, create an armor with your willpower, and in its most powerful form. It can even overpower a devil fruit user.
Hold on. Are you saying someone who can't, say, stretch like rubber or summon lightning, they can still go toe-to-toe with a devil fruit user?
That's the beauty of Haki. It's not just about the flashiest power, but strategy, skill, willpower. That's why those battles are so intense.
It keeps you guessing who's going to outsmart who's going to come out on top.
Exactly.
So we've got devil fruits, we've got Haki. Where does our protagonist, Monkey D. Luffy, and his dream of becoming king of the pirates fit into all of this?
Luffy's a fascinating character. With his infectious laughter, his unwavering optimism, he seems deceptively simple at first glance.
He doesn't exactly scream strategic mastermind, does he?
But his journey, anything but simple.
And he's definitely not sailing solo. He's got the Straw Hat Pirates by his side, and let's just say they're a lively bunch.
Lively might be an understatement. We're talking about Zoro, the swordsman who can get lost on a straight path, and Nami.
Nami, a genius navigator, but she might have a slight obsession with treasure.
Then there's Sanji. He can whip up a 5-star meal and deliver a mean kick to anyone who disrespects a lady.
Don't forget Chopper,
Oh, right.
A reindeer who's also a doctor.
Yeah.
Tell me that's not the most adorable thing you've ever heard. But why such a diverse and, let's be honest, quirky crew?
Mm.
What's the method to Oda's madness?
Well, it's like this. Luffy's whole journey, right? It represents this pursuit of freedom, challenging the status quo.
Right. Right.
So wouldn't it make sense for his crew to kind of embody that same energy?
That individuality.
Yeah. Each member, in their own way, is an outcast. Someone who doesn't fit in.
Oh, I see what you mean. So it's not just about having all the skills you need on the ship. It's more about,
Showcasing that there's strength in being different.
I like that, finding your people.
Exactly. And it's that shared belief, that acceptance of their quirks and flaws. That's what makes the Straw Hats more than just a crew.
They're a family.
Yeah. It's something I think a lot of us, we crave that, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. There's this warmth, this camaraderie. You really get invested in their relationship.
You're rooting for them every step of the way.
Speaking of journeys,
Mhm.
it's no secret the Grand Line is not for the faint of heart.
Definitely not a pleasure cruise.
What are some of the biggest threats Luffy and the crew encounter?
Well, for starters, you've got other pirate crews,
Of course, it wouldn't be One Piece without rival pirates.
each with their own ambitions, and let's be honest, some are morally ambiguous at best.
Yeah, you've got your good pirates, your bad pirates,
And let's not forget the ever-present threat of the Marines.
especially those high-ranking officers.
Some of them are like forces of nature. It's a good thing Luffy and the crew can turn danger into comedic relief.
They always seem to find a way to overcome the odds. It's a mix of willpower and, okay, maybe a little luck.
Don't underestimate the power of luck. But you're right, Oda blends these intense battles, these high-stakes situations.
And he throws in humor.
Heart. Even these moments of reflection where you see the characters really thinking about their actions, it's what makes him such a fantastic storyteller.
Speaking of Oda, where does a mind like that even come from?
Yeah.
How do you dream up a world as vibrant, as complex as One Piece?
Well, here's the thing. Oda, he's a huge fan of classic pirate stories.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He drew a lot of inspiration from real-life history and legends. For example, remember Blackbeard, the pirate captain obsessed with darkness?
How could I forget?
Mm-hmm.
That guy's devil fruit power still gives me nightmares.
He's actually based on the real-life pirate, Edward Teach, also known as Blackbeard.
Wait, seriously?
Oda takes these historical figures, events, and incorporates them into one piece.
Wow, so he's taking these figures from history and giving them a second life. A fantastical twist. It makes you appreciate the depth of his research.
Blending fact and fiction.
Speaking of blending, did you know that One Piece, it wasn't supposed to be this long?
You're telling me this epic saga that's been running for decades?
Was initially supposed to be a short story. How?
It's true. Oda initially planned for One Piece to last 5 years.
5 years. You're telling me this story with all these characters, all this world building, it was almost cut short before it even began.
It's hard to believe, right? But as Oda delved deeper into the world he was creating, he fell in love. Just like the fans.
And thank goodness for that. Because the scale of One Piece.
It's part of what makes it so captivating.
Speaking of captivating, let's talk about One Piece's record-breaking success. Hit me with the numbers. What kind of records are we even talking about here?
Well, get this. One Piece holds the Guinness World Record
Okay, 4. It's got to be a story there.
for the most copies published for a single comic book series.
By a single author, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so we're talking serious dedication. But how many copies is that?
Over 500 million.
500 million. That's insane. That's not just breaking records. That's like creating a whole new category.
It really shows the power of Oda's storytelling, this world he's created, and how these characters resonate with people no matter their background.
And those fans, they've been along for the ride for a while now.
They've had a lot to keep them busy.
Didn't One Piece dominate those manga sales charts for, like,
In
ever?
11 years, it was the top-selling manga.
11 years straight.
Straight. And that's unheard of, especially in a market like Japan where there's so much competition, new manga coming out all the time. But One Piece doesn't stop at just manga.
Oh no, it's a full-blown phenomenon.
It's an anime, movies, even a kabuki play.
A kabuki play. Now that's dedication to tradition. I've heard whispers of themed restaurants
There are.
and an entire One Piece tower.
In Tokyo, they've got exhibitions, life-size statues of the Straw Hats, everything.
From a 5-year plan to a global phenomenon, it's safe to say One Piece has really captured imaginations.
It's not just the fights, although those are definitely a huge part of it. But One Piece, it makes you think.
What about?
Friendship, ambition, freedom. It tackles these social issues, all while keeping you entertained and coming back for more.
That's what's so brilliant about it. It's lighthearted and fun one minute, and the next, it's hitting you with these moments of real emotion, real depth. It's a story you can enjoy on so many different levels.
And it keeps evolving. Always a new island to explore, new characters to meet.
New mysteries to unravel. It never gets old. So, anyone out there who's been thinking about diving into One Piece,
Now's the time.
this deep dive, it's just a taste.
A little teaser of what's out there.
It's a cultural phenomenon. And honestly, it reminds us that the greatest treasure,
It's not always gold or jewels.
it's the friendships we make, the adventures we share along the way. What was your biggest takeaway from diving into all this?
The sheer amount of detail. Oda didn't leave anything out. He created this whole world based on history, mythology. He makes you think. It makes me want to go back and reread everything.
Me too. It's amazing how a story can still surprise you, even after all these years. We've only scratched the surface here. This world is vast. So set sail on your own One Piece adventure. You never know what you might find. Until next time, happy reading.